Hello everyone. Today we will discuss strength of covalent bond for class +1 chemistry. Strength of covalent bond is dependent on extent of overlapping. Strength of a covalent bond is directly proportional to extent of overlapping. Now this extent of overlapping is dependent on two factors. First is nature of orbitals. Second is types of orbitals. Nature of orbitals means we have s orbitals or p orbitals. Generally, ss overlapping is less effective. Generally, ss overlapping is less effective. Why? Because s orbitals are non-directional. So in non-directional orbitals, extent of overlapping is less. But in homonuclear single bonded atoms like HH, all these are single bonded, single hydrogen bond, carbon single bond, nitrogen single bond, oxygen single bond, and fluorine single bond. Covalent bond is more strong in hydrogen. Fluorine bond is the weakest, and hydrogen bond is the strongest. Why? Because this is 1s overlapping. As we can see, 1s orbital is close to nucleus, so there will be increased internuclear attraction, and hence extent of overlapping will be highest. This is valid only for single bonded homonuclear atoms, right? But if we have to compare N2O2 H2F2. As we know, there is a triple bond in nitrogen. There is a double bond in oxygen. Hydrogen single bond, and fluorine single bond. So here triple bond is present, here double bond, and here two single bonded molecules. So strong bond is nitrogen. FF bond is still weakest. Why? Because of a lone pair repulsion. So hydrogen bond is still strong than FF bond, but weaker bond than oxygen double bond, and nitrogen triple bond. This is bond dissociation energy order also. Bond dissociation energy, right? So order will be this one. Next is pp overlapping is effective because p orbitals are directional. In directional orbitals we can say extent of overlapping will be highest and attraction will be highest. Due to increase attraction there will be high stability also. So generally we can say pp overlapping is higher than that of sp overlapping and higher than that of ss orbitals. But if we have to compare 1s 2p orbitals, 1s 3p overlapping, 1s 4p overlapping. 1s is close to nucleus, 1s 2p overlapping, 1s 3p, 1s 4p. As we can see, distance from nucleus increases and hence attraction decreases. This is overlapping. Next is now this pp overlapping can be of two types: coaxial overlapping and collateral overlapping. Coaxial overlapping and collateral overlapping. For example, we have two orbitals of p. If they overlap on same axis, then extent of overlapping will be highest. Electrons will be shared here. There will be increased interaction. But if they overlap collaterally at two different axes, then there will be only slight attraction only, but no exact sharing of electron. So coaxial overlapping is more effective than collateral overlapping. We can see in diagram also. Electrons are shared here. These is shared electrons. Now these shared electrons are more attracted towards this positive charge and this positive charge. But in collateral overlapping, there is no sharing of electrons. So here will be repulsion between electron. So collateral overlapping is less effective than coaxial overlapping. By this we can determine the strength of a covalent bond. Next is how sigma bond is formed. Sigma bond can be formed by SS overlapping of SS orbitals. For example, as we can see in H2, there is 1s overlapping. Second, we can see sp overlapping. For example, we have HF, HCl. Here is overlapping between sp orbitals. sp overlapping. Third, sigma bond can be formed by pp coaxial overlapping on same axis. Example, we can see Cl2, F2. In all these conditions, sigma bond will form. And sigma bond has independent existence, but pi bond is formed after coaxial overlapping. Right? Now we are going to differentiate between sigma bond and pi bond. sigma bond and pi bond. First is it is formed by coaxial overlapping, but pi bond is formed by collateral overlapping. Extent of overlapping in on coaxial axis will be highest, so it is a strong bond, high attraction, so it is a less reactive bond. Pi bond is formed by collateral overlapping, extent of overlapping is least, so it is a weak bond. So more reactive. Third, sigma bond has independent existence, but pi bond doesn't have independent existence. Pi bond is formed after the formation of a sigma bond, so no independent existence, right? Next is in sigma bond electrons are free to rotate, so after rotation they will show same structure, so they will never show cis trans isomers, but pi bond electrons are restricted. Electrons are restricted to rotation, so they will show cis trans isomers. Next, fifth is it is a directional bond, so it decides the geometry of a molecule. But pi bond is a non-directional bond. So it will not decide the geometry of a molecules. Geometry structure is dependent on a sigma bond, right? We have three types of bond: single bond, double bond, and a triple bond. Sigma bond, single bond is always sigma. In double bond, there is a one sigma, one pi, and in triple bond, one sigma, two pi bonds. Right? That is the difference between sigma bond and a pi bond. In next lecture, we will do hybridization. That is one of the important topics. Hybridization is before bond formation, and overlapping concept is during bond formation. Before overlapping, orbitals get hybridized. Right? We will understand it in the next lecture. Thank you.